Good day, folks. Thought I'd do a little quick video, some of the equipment that we use, and like I do mean some. This is by no means all of it, but just show you some of the things we use. Now I don't believe I've got a video using this old horror right here. This rascal right here is heavy, and it will pull the daylights out of a tractor. But the way this works, this is a pull type horror. It's just a single gang. But this little mechanism right here, you pull this lever and you tie that rope to the tractor, and when you pull that lever while it's going, these arms right here will actually slide back, and which in turn your disc will go to cutting. And I think you can actually reverse this thing and do it the other way too. But now watch, I've got this thing. Okay, we got it. But anyway, this particular horror right here belonged to my wife's grandfather on her mother's side, and we call this old horror, we call it Old Man Fred. That's what everybody referred to him as. And so when I mentioned that I'm going to use Fred, my wife's daddy automatically, he knows which horror I'm going to. But my 8N will pull it. It's just whenever when you have to turn a lot or you're going uphill a lot, it makes it a little tough on it. But it will pull it. But and I've seen it'll go plumb up to the axle on that. But that's a good horror. That horror right there, you can go out here in spring, early spring, and it'll cut this field up just like if you had plowed it basically with a turning plow. The only thing is it just don't go quite as deep as I'd want it to, as a turning plow will go. So, but I have used it, and I've used it recently, this year, matter of fact. We tore up the place upper side of the field for the peas. That's what I used, was that, and then we used this other. Here's another little piece of equipment. This is the chair. Sometimes I just come up here and just sit down and look. And that chair came out of the break room where I used to work. They were going to throw it away. It was damaged, so I asked the maintenance guy, could I have it? And he said, yeah, go ahead. He said, there's another one outside the door. You can have it too. But that's not no equipment that we use on the tractor, but I thought I would just show that. Let me pause for just a moment. All right, this one here, y'all recognize it. I've got it in a video using it. It's lightweight. I really don't have a way of putting some weight on it that will stay on it. I could rig that up. That wouldn't be a problem. And we may do that someday. But like I say, you've seen me use this horror on my 8N. I've pulled it with both of them, the 140 and the 8N. It doesn't pull that hard. It don't really get that deep, but it's a good finishing horror. If you've got your ground broke up fairly good, this horror right here will smooth it out and finish it. And you know, you can set your disc. I think you've seen me use it, but you just run this here in, and what it will do, it will angle the disc so that they're cutting. Your back ones, the center of the back ones will come in, and the center of the front ones will go out, and that makes it to cut so that one will plow. Another way, I think this is the correct way that they're supposed to be. Your front discs are supposed to be dished out. In other words, the inside bevel of the dish is pointed out from the horror, and your back is supposed to be pointed in. And I think that is correct. That's the way I've seen them done both ways, but I believe this is the correct way that they're supposed to be done. And I do have a nickname for this horror, but the gentleman that it's nicknamed after is still alive, so I'm going to keep that anonymous. That is in the family. But he's a good man, nothing against him at all. It's just who my father-in-law bought this horror from, and that's what I nicknamed this horror. But anyway, and here's one more up here. This is one I use. I've used it. It does basically the same thing as the first one that I showed you. And here's another little trick. If you change oil in your equipment, tractors, lawnmowers, what have you, I just keep it and put it in these old jugs. And the grease zerks, grease fittings, whatever you want to call them, are pretty well gone on most of this equipment right here. And so that's what I'll do. I'll throw a little grease to it, and you know, so that it will keep a little bit of lubrication to the moving parts on it. But this Har has a 3-point hitch on it, and it is heavy too. It will, you know, it's set. See, you see how the discs are already angled on it, and I just keep it set. But the only movement you've got is right here. You can pull this pin out and slide that back, and that'll straighten your disc out, you know, to where they're almost straight. They're not totally straight, but I just set it so it'll cut, because that's what I want it to do. But that little Har right there, you'll surprise you what it'll do. And it's got the weight. I found these pieces of granite when we lived in Albemarle. Guy that was there before us, he had connections, I guess, and I just laid those pieces of granite up there, and they make a good weight, and so that makes the Har even that much heavier. So that little Har right there, I don't think I've got it on video, me using it, but that sucker right there will flat cut up some stuff. And I've used it years ago, just like my cornfield right there. I've used it and just Har the daylights out of it, just like it is with the corn standing, and it would cut it up. I mean, you go over it about 2 or 3 times and it would cut it all to pieces. And so, but we plan on we'll probably use it again for long, or maybe next year, I don't know. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that in case anybody had any interest in knowing it. And you know, I've seen this Har, I've seen other Hars made up just like this one. Guy over toward Burlington has this Har. So anyway, just thought I would do this video, and I'm gonna get off of here. You folks have a wonderful day, and God bless you.